Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is video number 237 and lecture number 11. And today's video lecture is based on monetary policy and its role in the economy. So this is lecture number 11 in a series of lecture in introductory macroeconomics. So our main topic for today's discussion is monetary policies. Monetary policy means a policy which the government through the central bank of the country regulates the availability of credit and regulates the banking system, and it basically affects money supply and interest rates. So monetary policy is basically exercised to influence interest rates and money supply in the economy. Financial contagion. When fears that one bank is bankrupt spread to fears that other banks are also bankrupt can cause bank runs to occur at multiple banks. Illiquidity. When the demand for cash by depositors exceeds the bank's available reserves. Insolvency means when the value of the bank's assets is less than the value of its liabilities, and it is also known as bankrupt. Loan finance. Banks earn income by making loans. They also make other safe investments like purchases of treasury securities but primarily they are in the loan business. Banks are one part of larger financial system which links savers and borrowers. Savers or lenders supply the money for borrowing, and borrowers provide the demand. A key element between lenders and borrowers is the interest rate, which is the price one pays to borrow money and the reward one receives for lending. This is how bank runs. If the bank is still bankrupt, it could attempt to raise cash by selling assets. Selling assets in a hurry risks a fire sale price. Sales bring in less money than the assets are worth. That could be enough to pay off enough depositors to stop the run. Bank runs are based on emotions as much as logic, and the bank could try to borrow in financial markets, but who is likely to lend to a bank in a financial crisis? Central bank. The name of the central bank of the United States is the Federal Reserve System. Every country has a central bank, and it is an institution which conducts a nation's monetary policy and regulates its banking system. The Federal Reserve System of the US, like other central banks, is designed to perform three important functions. That is to provide banking services to commercial banks and other depository institutions, and to provide banking services to the federal government, to promote stability of the financial system, and to conduct monetary policy. So these are the three important functions that a central bank usually plays. Bank regulation. It is intended to maintain banks' solvency by avoiding excessive risks. Regulation falls into a number of categories that includes reserve requirements, capital requirements, restrictions on the types of investment banks may make. Bank capital is the difference between the value of bank's assets and the value of its liabilities. Regulation requires the banks maintain a minimum net worth, usually expressed as % of their assets, to protect their depositors and other creditors. Deposit insurance and lender of last resort. The risk of bank runs creates instability in the banking system. To protect against bank runs, Congress has put two strategies into place. Deposit insurance, lender of the last resort, and this is the role of the central bank to provide loans to distressed banks when the banks can't obtain credit from anywhere else. The central bank also use monetary policy using the following. So one is discount rate. This is the interest rate charged by the central bank on the loans that it gives to other commercial banks. And then there is a federal funds rate, the interest rate on overnight interbank loans and open market operations. The central bank is selling or buying treasury bonds to influence the quantity of money and the level of interest rate. And the final option is reserve requirement, the percentage amount its total deposits that a bank is legally obliged to either hold in cash in their vault or deposit with the central bank. How a central bank executes monetary policy? Monetary policy operates through a complex mechanism, but the basic idea is simple. The central bank provides or withdraws reserves to the banking system that influences the availability of credit in general. A central bank has three traditional tools to implement monetary policy in the economy, that is changing the discount rate, changing reserve requirements, and open market operations. Changing the discount rate. In the event of the bank run, sound banks could borrow as much as they needed from the central bank's discount window to quell the bank run. The interest rate banks pay for such loans is called the discount rate. The central bank is originally intended to provide credit passively, but in the years since its founding, the central bank has taken on a more active role with the monetary policy. The second option is changing reserve requirements. This is the second method of conducting monetary policy, which is for the central bank to raise or reduce the reserve requirement ratio. If the central bank were to raise the reserve requirements, bank would have to hold a greater amount in reserves. Small changes in the reserve requirements are made almost every year. Large changes in reserve requirements are rarely used to execute monetary policy. A sudden demand that all banks increase their reserves would be extremely disruptive and difficult to comply with. Open market operations. It is the central bank selling or buying treasury securities to influence the quantity of money and the level of interest rates. Open market purchase. The central bank buys treasury securities to increase bank reserves and lower interest rates. Open market sale. The central bank sells treasury securities to decrease the bank reserves and raise interest rates. Open market operations take place when the central bank sells or buys the country's treasury securities in order to affect the quantity of bank reserves and the level of interest rates. When the central bank conducts open market operations, it targets the federal fund rates, since the interest rate reflects credit conditions in the financial markets as well. Decisions regarding open market operations are made by the central bank open market committee. Monetary policy and interest rates. Capital market. The markets for long-term financial assets. Contractionary or tight monetary policy is a monetary policy that reduces the supply of money and increases interest rates. Expansionary or loose monetary policy is a monetary policy that increases the supply of money and reduces interest rates. Federal funds rate, the interest rate at which one bank lends funds to another bank overnight. Market for loanable funds. A broad view of financial markets, including quantities, bonds, bank account, credit, and all other financial assets. Money market. The markets for short-term financial assets. Prime rate. The interest rate banks charge their very best corporate customers, borrowers with the strong credit ratings. Here is the example of expansionary or contractionary policies. If you look at this diagram, when the supply curve shifts from S2 to S1, that is called expansionary monetary policy, which increases the supply of money and lower interest rate from 8% to 6%. On the other hand, if the supply curve shifts from S0 to S2 leftward, then in that case the money supply decreases from 10 to $8 billion and the rate of interest increases from 8 to 10%, and that is why it is known as tight monetary policy or contractionary monetary policy. The effects of monetary policy on interest rates. Although open market operations, the central bank changes the bank reserve in a way which affects the supply curve of loanable funds. When the central bank decides to conduct an expansionary monetary policy, they purchase treasury securities held by the private investors. Financial markets display a wide range of interest rates representing borrowers with different risk premium and loans that are to be repaid over different periods of time. In general, when the central bank's funds rate drops substantially, other interest rates drop too, and when the central bank's funds rate rises, other interest rate rises too. Here are the monetary policy and aggregate demand. Monetary policy affects interest rate and availability of loanable funds, which in turn affect the several components of aggregate demand. Business investment will decline because it is less attractive for firms to borrow money. Counter-cyclical. Moving in the opposite direction of the business cycle of the economic downturns and upswings. Federal funds rate, the interest rate at which one bank lends funds to another bank overnight, and quantitative easing, the purchase of long-term government and private mortgage-backed securities by central banks to make credit available in hopes of stimulating aggregate demand. Creating new monetary policy tools. At the beginning of the Great Recession, the central banks found itself in a precarious position. To deal with this situation, the Federal Reserve System of the United States Treasury tried a number of innovative initiatives. The Fed began conducting quantitative easing. It also tried alternative ways to increase reserves in the banking system, and it made more progressive use of purchase agreements. While not technically monetary policy, if we are speaking strictly, the Congress and the President of the United States also passed several pieces of legislation that would stabilize the financial markets. Here are some questions for a quick review that we discussed in our presentation. You may go through these questions. Here are some more. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly do so. Press the subscribe button and do not forget to click on the bell icon that you can see here, so that you can get information or notification about my other informative and useful videos that I'll upload for my students throughout the world, and many other colleagues and fellow members can also benefit from it. You can share this video and the YouTube channel with your friends, with your colleagues, and with your students, so that they can get benefit. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in another video soon.